Zero. Are we recording? Zero stalling. We go straight into chapter 200. And what? 86. We're updating this live. This is the chapter. This is the stream. Where in hopefully 2 hours, we kill LANEVUS. Can I even say, can I say the K word like a minute into the video? I know you can't say bad words, otherwise you get... No, I think we're good. I think we're good. This is the day where we avenge Dunsmith. Okay, I'm getting excited. I'm getting a little emotional. Oh, it's gonna be good. Okay, let's just go straight into it, dude. Wait, let's go straight into it. You're right. You're right, Romero. Zangwil is still out there. We first start with LANEVUS, and then we work our way to Inzangwo. And then we're not gonna stop there, because I know Romero likes to spread this true creator propaganda nonsense. After that, we go for the true creator. And then the hidden sage. We go off the bucket list. Worst enemies, alright? And then from there we go. DF? No. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, now we can start the chapter. Wait, I lied! I don't even have the chapter open. I'm gonna awkwardly pause the video. Hold up. Okay, now we start. Chapter 200. Oh, wait, I didn't do my notes. Yeah, you're right. I lied. I don't know why I said 276. 286. I'm excited. Okay. Oh, wow, I'm on the wrong chapter. Wait, you're right. 286 is called a taunting smile. Ooh. And the clock tower of East Balam Dock. I hope the music fits right now. Of East Balam Dock, hidden in darkness. I am updating this as we speak, so this is kind of scuffed. Okay. In the clock tower of East Balam Dock, KLEIN hid in the darkness while... Man, he's just observing in the shadows. I am the shadows. Ooh, KLEIN hid in the darkness while donning a clown mask as he quietly stared at the dormitory of the dock union. An airship floated above. He couldn't see the details of the battle. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps already. Oh my god. Thank you guys. There's 20 of you guys here. He couldn't see the details of the battle, and he had no way of knowing the developments of the operation of the red brick building. All he could do was endure and determine the situation by observing the changes in the surroundings and the occasional black dot that passed by. Just then, he saw all the gas lamps in the area extinguishing. All of them had been extinguished. It was pitch black there. Right on the heels... I'm grabbing Ellie. I'm grabbing Ellie as we speak. Come here. Right on the heels of that, a feeling that left an extremely deep impression on him exploded from the small red brick building. Even from a long distance away, KLEIN couldn't help but tremble all over. His legs went soft and he bent his wrist. It was the feeling... What is it? It was the feeling of being looked down upon, a feeling that repressed one's spirit. What? How strong is he? It was a feeling that was impossible to resist or face. No, don't look... Oh, you're right, because he showed his body, right? Oh, don't look at it. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, do not look directly. Set a spoiler check. Oh yeah, we'll be careful with spoilers just in case. It was a feeling that was impossible to resist or face. No, don't look directly at God. And in his adrift thoughts, KLEIN seemed to recall the time when he was in the hall of the Blackthorn Security Company. It was like when he was about to activate his spirit vision to probe the mental state of Megoose and the baby in her womb. Oh my god! Okay, flashbacks. That feeling was exactly the same as it was now. No, it's even more extreme and terrifying right now. Oh, this is exciting, dude. No, it's even more extreme and terrifying right now. How could this be? Wasn't LANEVUS just bestowed with a little bit of the true creator's godhood? At most, he would be given 1 or 2 other corresponding items. Why does it feel like an evil god is about to descend? Oh, I'm getting teary-eyed. Before KLEIN could shake off the trembling of his body and the numbing of his thoughts, he suddenly felt a deep, serene, and profound darkness engulfing the feelings that couldn't be looked at, probed, or resisted. The two sensations were obliterated at the same time, causing the gas lamps in the surrounding areas to light up once again. The airship, which couldn't stop itself from plundering, floated back up again. Everything seemed to return to its original state without the slightest change, but KLEIN didn't believe that everything was over. He stood up with all his might, knowing that something important had happened in the red brick building. Oh my god, I can't even read. I'm getting excited. The feeling that exceeds it beyond her at a fundamental level is no longer there, nor is there the feeling of the descent of an evil god. It's over. That means that the true creator or LANEVUS plot has failed, or he lost that aspect, right? However, the Nighthawks must have suffered some sort of serious blow as well. They might not even have much strength left. At that moment, Klein's heart stirred. He quickly took out his spirit pendulum inside his left sleeve, holding it with one hand as he said in a low voice, "LANEVUS is no longer dangerous at the moment, Cap." After quickly repeating it 7 times, he opened his eyes and saw that the topaz pendant was rotating counterclockwise, so negative. However, its frequency wasn't fast and its amplitude wasn't large, so it's reasonable. This showed that LANEVUS was still a dangerous man, but to a lesser degree. What caught Klein's attention was something else. The divination hadn't failed again. This mean that LANEVUS had been separated from the godhood bestowed upon him by the true creator? A cold wind blew, seeping deep into Klein's bones, causing him to shiver. He felt as if an electric current had instantly... Look, even Ellie's barking at him. He hates him, man. He felt as if an electric current had instantly drilled into his brain from the soles of his feet. Maybe I can do something. He suddenly had his thoughts and no longer hesitated. He took 4 steps counterclockwise in the dark clock tower and went above the gray fog. Without wasting any time, he sat down and conjured a piece of yellowish-brown goatskin parchment and wrote down a divination statement. "LANEVUS escape route?" Klein leaned back, quickly chanted the statement, and entered a deep dream. In that illusionary, separated, misty world, he saw the slush-filled sewers with their dark, dirty tunnels and rusty metal pipes. It was cramped and sealed. It's the sewers? Oh, we've been talking about the sewers this arc. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, we've actually, low-key, we've been... No! Oh, no such thing as a coincidence. That's why people wanted to clear it out, right? Maybe not LANEVUS directly. I dropped my mic. Can you guys still hear me? Are we connected? It's the sewers. Klein immediately woke up, enveloped his body with spirituality, and descended into the gray fog. As soon as he returned to the real world, he took a few steps back and came to the side of the clock tower that faced away from the airship. Klein didn't walk down the spiral stairs, but instead I've never read this word in my life. Somersaulted. Oh, I have read this. I lied. Somersaulted over the dark yellow fence. With the help on the platform, the bulging spot, and the decorations on the surface of the building, he jumped down level by level. His body was so balanced, it was as if though he was walking on the ground. In a very short period of time, his feet stepped on the thick flagstones of the street. Inside the small red brick building, 2 Nighthawks wearing red gloves had collapsed by the door unconscious. The ancient silver-plated mirror had rolled to a corner, but it was no longer special. It was no longer looking like a grade 1 sealed artifact. What'd I do? Wait, what'd I do? Caught red-handed. It's the greatest manipulator in fiction. You know it. Inside the small red building, 2 Nighthawks wearing red gloves have collapsed by... Oh, Omari, study my words! Let's read this. It's always whenever there's action, bro. Whenever there's action, I get too excited and I mess up my reading even more, bro. It's so scuffed. Inside the small red brick building, 2 Nighthawks wearing red gloves had collapsed by the door unconscious. The ancient silver-plated mirror had rolled to a corner, but it was no longer special. It no longer looked anything like a grade 1 sealed artifact. However, one could clearly feel that it was recovering bit by bit. Crescent Sesmir was kneeling at an intersection. A stream of tear-like blood streaked down from the corners of his eyes. Blood? His short, golden brown hair hung limply, and his standing collars on his windbreaker and shirt were in tatters, revealing his relatively sharp chin and his thin, stiff mouth. Gasping for air, a Damn, this messed him up. I thought he was strong, dude. Gasping for air, a distorted, semi-illusionary and translucent fate appeared on each of his teeth. Shut up. Shut up. Gasping for air, a distorted, semi-illusionary and translucent face appeared on each of his teeth. Ugh. Sesmir braced himself with his left red glove hand on the ground. With difficulty, he straightened his neck and looked straight ahead. Directly in front of him was the staircase to the 2nd floor, above which stood LANEVUS, who had his linen shirt completely unbuttoned. LANEVUS stood very straight with his pure white, smooth bone sword stuck in chest. The skinless flesh no longer formed the outline of the hanging man's figure, leaving behind a void. Vaguely, one could even see his back through the hole in LANEVUS's body. LANEVUS moved with great difficulty before suddenly laughing loudly. He said with a maniacal laugh, "Ha, thank you. I really need to thank you, for real. Look at my sincere eyes. I really want to thank you. If you hadn't discovered me in Raven time, I would have truly become the vessel of the true creator when he descends in a few months." He's gonna descend, bro. Oh, snap. If you hadn't discovered me and arrived in time, I would... Wait, he doesn't want to become the vessel? I would truly become the vessel of the true creator when he descends in a few months. When that happens, how different would it be from dying? Sesmir was stunned when he heard that. He refused to believe that the person who had his crutch destroyed thanks to his hard work would be so happy. At that moment, he wished to stand, but he couldn't. He was also powerless to resist. When LANEVUS saw his confusion, he coughed and said with a smile, "Do you know, to people like me, it's the most miserable thing when there's no one to share a great accomplishment that I'm proud of." Get out of here, dude. Cough. When I am in Tinkin City, I was deceived by the true... Oh, he was using him. I was deceived by the... He's a swindler, so maybe he's lying. I was deceived by the true creator who not only initiated the descent of his spawn, but he also secretly planted a sapling in my body. Ugh. No, I even believe that Mingusa's child was just his ruse. He didn't even get the members of the Aurora Order to protect her to divert attention. Oh, it was a diversion. He was trying... So, the true creator's real goal was implanting the seed in LANEVUS. The spawn, like, his spawn was like, I get it. No, I even believe that Mingusa's child was just his ruse. He didn't even get the members of the Order to protect her to divert attention. It was as though he knew from the beginning that the ploy would end in failure. His true descent was set up inside of me. The godhood he bestowed upon me suddenly combined with a sapling in my body after I reached Backland. Huh? Could you imagine that? I was being replaced by the hit bit by bit by him. In the end, I would become the true creator. Shut up. I wonder if KLEIN has a sapling in him. Housing and food, bro. I'm tripping out, man. I'm kind of scared. I'm honestly scared for KLEIN. If my theory holds up, I'm kind of scared for him, dude. Before I came up with a solution, I found the members of the Aurora Order through the godhood. Thankfully, they're all lunatics with simple brains. There are always so many fools. Cough, cough, cough. LANEVUS spat on a mouthful of food, of foul blood, seemingly recovering some of his mobility. He took a difficult step forward, and his chiseled face suddenly turned soft from some unknown reason as he began resembling his original self. LANEVUS reached out the staircase to hound Joel and laughed tauntingly. Thankfully, if the true creator wishes to fully descend and completely replace me, he'll need large amounts of pessimism, despair, numbness, resentment, and primitive evil. Only in Backland, only Eastboro, the factory and dock area, could satisfy his requirements. This gave me a chance to interact with others. I knew that it would be unrealistic to report this to the police simply through the people I interacted with, because the people I come in contact could very well be members of the Aurora Order. I initially wanted to instigate a strike to get the police to notice me, but I was only warned by someone from the Aurora Order. After being tortured, I can only hastily end it. I acted as though I was on the brink of losing control and had gained the opportunity to head into sewers to vent. During this process, I secretly used my blood to corrupt the creatures. He corrupted the things under there. During this process, I secretly used my blood to corrupt the creatures living in there, turning them into terrifying mutant monsters. Look at that, full circle. Unfortunately, before you can fully investigate the reason behind it, it was discovered by the Aurora Order. Apparently, a member of theirs died under a mutated monster Psy. Now that I no longer have the godhood or the sapling, my blood no longer has such effects. Aw, sucks to suck, right? Poor him. Now we gotta kill him, right? Because he's not that strong. After that, I was controlled even more strictly, but I still found an opportunity. I killed a prostitute. Oh, he was Jack the Ripper? Rest in peace to her. But I was expecting Jack the Ripper. I killed a prostitute. Oh, wait, hold up. He is the copycat killer. He was the copycat killer. I killed a prostitute and used the cruelest method to attract the attention of the police. But who would have thought that the people of the Aurora Order would disguise the case as part of a series of serial murders? He was the copycat killer. I still failed to receive the rescue I needed. Out of similar opportunities, I can only use a more ingenious method. I took the initiative to request for the Firecast's craziest, most radical members of the Aurora Order to watch me, but this suited their thoughts. Can't they use their brains? Such a lunatic would get in trouble at any moment. As expected, you guys came. Phew. At that moment, LANEVUS exhaled and began to move his body as he had finally gotten rid of the remnant effects. He pulled out his holy bone sword from his chest and said regretfully, "What a pity. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I can't take it with me, otherwise I would be quickly tracked and found by you." The sword bone that Sesmir took out? What? After the pure white bone sword completely separated from his body, not a single drop of blood remained from the exaggerated wound. That part that had dissipated didn't seem to belong to LANEVUS. What happened? What happened? What'd I miss? He's going to let... Wait, what was that? What was that? Yeah, back to peak. And I lost my place. After that, I was controlled even more strictly. I read that. Out of similarity opportunities, I could use any more ingenious method that... Oh, I lost my place. I actually... After the pure white... Okay, LANEVUS pressed his right hand against his chest, bowing as he faced Crestet Sesmir and company. The people on the airship outside should be recovering soon. I can't stay any longer. Thank you very much. Although you're all very stupid, you still ultimately helped me. It's an honor for foolish bastards like... yourself. Having said this, he straightened his body and smiled tauntingly. Goodbye, foolish Nighthawks. Use your lives to send me off. Grasping the bone sword... This is where KLEIN comes in. Grasping the bow sword in his hand, he abruptly took a few steps forward, attempting to stab at Crescent Sesmir. But at that moment, his eyelids began to grow heavily as he felt like collapsing into a slumber. KLEIN uses slumber charm. So you still have some strength. This is troublesome. LANEVUS bit his tongue gently and suddenly threw... Oh, he threw the holy bone sword at the unconscious Nighthawk by the door. No. Sesmir waved his hand with the strength he accumulated through the painstaking means, causing an invisible entity to divert the holy bone sword. Causing an invisible entity to divert the holy bone sword. To move it. LANEVUS seized the opportunity and dashed to the side. He somersaulted over the red brick building through the window at the washroom at the end of the corridor. Soon after, he opened a manhole covering along the streets and quickly climbed into the sewers. Oh, we have a sewers fight. LANEVUS seemed to be very familiar with this place. Even though it was dark, he could still run, jump, and turn, quickly fleeing deep into the maze of sewers. Suddenly, he instinctively stopped and leaned back. It's him. Oh, let's go. Oof. Oh my god. I'm changing the music. I don't even need to read the rest of your message, Cammy. I know. I see. Oh. Let's go. Oof. Ooh, I'm putting the volume up a little bit. If it's too much, tell me. A card had stabbed deep into his right chest and blood began dripping profoundly from its edge. Oh. This track goes hard, bro. LANEVUS looked up. Wait, I skipped the line. A card had stabbed deep into his right chest and blood began dripping profusely from its edge. LANEVUS looked up and with his ability to see it in the dark, he saw his attacker. It was a medium-sized man in a worker's uniform wearing the mask which raised mouth and red nose. It was a happy clown. Bro, clean up on aisle 3, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Let's just update our time step and keep going. Is that gonna be our new saying? It's clowning time? The moment their eyes met, LANEVUS suddenly ducked and rolled forward. Clang. Shit, bro. Oh my god. My voice, I'm getting a little raspy here, dude. A tarot card with an angel and trumpet shout out sharply like a dagger, embedding itself into the wall of the sewer and its position was at the same height as LANEVUS's neck just moments before. Oh, so he ducked and dodged. Clang, clang, clang. LANEVUS either rolled or jumped to his side or threw himself forward, nimbly avoiding the 3 cards that came in succession with abnormal agility. Oh, we gotta avenge that Smith, bro. I'm crying, dude. Their collision with the wall, slabs, and concrete echoed like metal striking a wall. Meanwhile, out of the corner of his eyes, he saw that the man in the clown mask was following him closely, not much slower than he was. In his hand was a thick stack of cards as he launched himself with great familiarity and skill. On the surface of an approaching card was a sun with 5 facial features. What? Oh, I thought it was like a sun. No, it's a card. Okay, it was a card. He saw the Oh, I skipped the line. I'm getting too excited. Meanwhile, at the corner of his eye, he saw the mountain's clown mask was following him closely. What the? Did I just skip? On the surface of an approaching card was a sun with 5 facial features. With his left hand, LANEVUS propped himself up against the wall and leaped into the air, drastically changing his course. At that moment, he heard a swishing sound before suddenly feeling a sharp pain in his ankle. He launched 2 cards, one arriving slightly late and with his aim in the direction I was escaping in. Can he foresee my movements? Yeah, he can, dude. This guy has foresight, bro. My man has clairvoyance. The moment he landed on the ground, LANEVUS endured the pain and rolled once again. Clang. Another tarot card embedded himself into its original position, resonating constantly in the response to his impact. It was only then you know what I also just noticed? I didn't update my timestamp. I think I'm good. At that moment, he heard a swishing sound before suddenly feeling a sharp pain in his ankle. He launched 2 cards. Oh, wait, I just read this part. Clang. Another tarot card embedded itself into its original position, resonating constantly in response to its impact. It was only then that LANEVUS noticed a card deeply embedded in his right ankle, the card depicting stars. Water contain... Water containers and holy water stained in red. Su, su, su. Su, su, su? What kind of sound effect is that? LANEVUS didn't even have the luxury of time to think or treat his injuries. One after another, the cards turned into seemingly sharp flying daggers, shooting at different parts of his body. This is crazy, dude. Very soon, the injuries on his right leg and chest and remnant effects from the hole in his chest, as well as prior demigod level clash, caused his Sequence 9 Marauder to turn sluggish. This was in contrast to the nimbleness and speed that Marauders were known for. Pow. He sent a card flying, but deep lacerations tore through his wrist, one that kept bleeding profusely. The Nighthawks in the military will be coming soon. I can't delay any longer. At that moment, LANEVUS' mind was very clear. Suddenly, he stopped in his tracks and stopped dodging, allowing the card to depicting the devil to strike him squarely in the neck. Ugh! In almost an instant, the cards sticking out from his body were sent flying. What? It was sent flying? The hideous wounds on his neck, right chest, wrist, and ankle were all squirming madly, sprouting one meat tendril after another in disgusting shapes. This is so satisfying, bro. I am so happy we're gonna murder this man. On his skin, numerous small goosebumps appeared. These goosebumps had a metallic tint to them, as if they had been turned into a set of armor. Clang! A tarot card was shot over, but it was deflected by the fine goosebumps. With bloodshot eyes, LANEVUS stared at the clown, who put... Oh my... I'm reading so bad. I'm getting too excited. With bloodshot eyes, LANEVUS stared at the clown, who had put away his cards after coming to a halt. He said, half laughing and half mock... I'm gonna lower the volume down, but I think I can hear it spiking. He said, half laughing and half mocking, no matter what, after being tormented by a deity, one will always get something in return. Before he could finish his words, he had already jumped over the polluted waters in the canal with his left foot, throwing himself at the enemy opposite him. As if expecting this, KLEIN stepped to the side, pulled his left hand out of his pocket, clenching it into a fist, and threw it at LANEVUS' temple. Oh, he hit him. LANEVUS swung his elbow sideways and raised his forearm, accurately hitting his opponent's fist. The explosive force surged like a torrential tide, causing KLEIN's body to move from impact as he staggered a little. Pa, pa, pa. Crisp, explosive blasts sounded in KLEIN's ears, punching each heavier and faster than the last, constantly reflecting it in his eyes. The flurry of attacks made him seem to forget to maintain his balance. Oh, he's angry, bro. He staggered and fell to the side. Then, with the support from his left elbow, he rolled in a different direction. Smack, smack, bang, bang. LANEVUS punched and kicks came quickly and fiercely, almost hitting KLEIN quite a few times, but thanks to his exaggerated balance of movements that defied common sense, he managed to dodge successfully. At times, he would be on the wall, and other times on the ground. It was as though he was performing an acrobatic act. You know what, man? Being a clown actually came in handy. He appeared very calm without the slightest bit of impatience. It was as though he had decided to drag out the battle as long as possible until the Nighthawks and military arrived. And once there were any signs of LANEVUS attempting to escape, he was hell-bent on pestering him and not giving him an opportunity to do so. Pa. LANEVUS' punch forced KLEIN to use his rebound from the wall to fly back into the air. What is going on? LANEVUS' punch forced KLEIN to use the rebound from the wall to fly back into the air, and as for himself, he didn't hesitate to turn around and flee towards another tunnel. That moment, KLEIN's toes touched the ground. His body shot out like a cannonball as he pounds straight for LANEVUS'... Bro, how fast is he now, dude? At that moment, an image appeared... I know what image this is. An image appeared in his mind. Is it done? It seems as if LANEVUS had no bones. I should force him to twist his upper body. Ugh, what is going on? He's playing... Dude, he is toying with him, bro. Yeah, dude, he is toying with him. It seems as if LANEVUS has no bones. Ah, man. I should force him to twist his upper body and launch a punch on his body. And land a punch on his body. This was a clown's intuition. I've never seen a clown this strong before. Without any doubts or hesitation, KLEIN took the initiative to reduce his subsequent strength. With a smacking sound, he still threw himself forward, but it was much weaker than he expected. Kacha. With a jarring nose, LANEVUS twisted his upper body suddenly while his legs remained immobile. His face faced backward and his toes pointed forward. In such a terrifying scene, LANEVUS threw a punch towards KLEIN's head. The force of his punch was so strong that even the air produced an explosive boom. Boom. His fit hit nothing but air, and his fist was still 20 or 30 centimeters from Klein's face. The wind that stirred from the punch blew through Klein's hair, but he didn't take the opportunity to attack the enemy. Instead, he croaked exceeding a word in ancient Hermes, Crimson. Shit, we're gonna burn him. A charm. LANEVUS scrunched his face as he immediately jumped to the side and bid to dodge the impending attack. However, Klein had yet to throw out the charm. Instead, he clenched his fist tightly and followed in the direction of LANEVUS. He similarly threw himself to the side and rolled on the ground as well, causing the distance between them to only widen slightly. It was a bluff. Just as this thought flashed through his mind, the highly raised corners of the clown's mouth were clearly reflecting in his eyes. There was also a dark red flame, oh my god, which had unknowingly ignited the clown's left fist. This LANEVUS's gaze immediately froze. A light crackling sound entered his ears, and a calm, tranquil feeling emanated instantly, enveloping him and Klein. What is he trying to do? He wants both of us to be affected at the same time to allow for the Nighthawks and military to rush here in time. LANEVUS' eyelids dropped heavily, and the fatigue and the weakness he had been suppressing began to rear their heads uncontrollably. He did his best to not fall asleep, hoping to rely on his uniqueness of his body to endure through the most intense period of charm's slumbering effects. As for Klein, he didn't choose to resist at all and quickly entered a deep slumber. However, whenever he fell asleep unnaturally, he would instinctively wake up. How? This was the unique thing about him when fighting mediumship and dream invasions. This was the reason why he had been lucky enough to escape from the hands of Madame Sharon back in Tingen. This was the reason why he had been lucky enough to escape from the hands of Madame Sharon back in when did Miss Bodyguard grab him? And the fight just now, after throwing his cards proved ineffective, he immediately took out the slumber charms and gripped it tightly in his palm, waiting for the opportunity to affect himself and his enemy. In just a split second, he forcibly broke free from the abnormal state of his mind in his dream. The figure of the staggering LANEVUS was clearly reflected in his eyes. Phew. Klein suddenly became very calm, as though he was before him was nothing but a target. He took a deep breath, turned his wrist, and pulled back his shoulder before thrusting his fist forward with all his strength. Bam, kacha. His fist landed ruthlessly at LANEVUS' throat, breaking his bones and splattering his flesh. LANEVUS took 2 steps back and leaned against the wall. That intense pain finally allowed him to extricate himself from the slumbering effects, but the fine iron-coloring goosebumps on his body were all gone. After Klein's punch landed, he reached into his pocket with his left hand and pulled out 2 cards. It's the cards sound effect. The 2 cards each stepped into each as scarlet liquid gushed out. LANEVUS squarely endured the pain without letting out a tragic cry. Oh, you can cry. What a baby, dude. Instead, he abruptly threw himself forward in a bid to make his last stand. Get out of here. He's gonna take him out. Bro, Klein's come such a long way. Klein didn't take advantage of the situation to attack. He doesn't need to. Having long expected this, he turned his body to the side and took a step back. Right on the heels of that, while seizing the moment when LANEVUS fell forward, he took 2 steps and arrived behind him. He reached out with his arms and grabbed his enemy's neck. Ugh! Klein's arms exerted force, and he suddenly turned around, twisting LANEVUS' neck. Oh wait, he has no bones, so he's technically not dead. Klein's arms exerted force, and he suddenly turned around, twisting LANEVUS' neck. After doing all of this, he took 2 steps back and looked at his enemy. With the cards embedded in him, LANEVUS looked ahead and weakly as he slumped to the ground. At the same time, he was very confused and asked in a staccato manner, "Why do you want to kill me?" Shut the f up, bro. You already know why. Shut up, bro. No one likes you. No reason. I read the next sentence. No reason. With his clown mask on, Klein stared at the arch enemy and replied indifferently, "No reason?" That's so badass. No. With his eyes wide open, LANEVUS collapsed to the ground in the sewers, unable to accept his fate. Finally, his breathing came to a stop. I'm so happy. At that moment, Klein, who seemed to be extremely calm, suddenly stepped forward, tightening his right leg, and with all his strength, kicked him in the head. Blah. The watermelon effect, right? Blah. His neck, which was already badly mutilated, could no longer bear the pressure and was sent flying like a rubber ball. No one likes this dude. He was probably ugly too, man. No one liked him and he was ugly. Oh, man, just to rub it in. It slammed heavily into the wall, creating a red and white patch. Oh my god. Upon seeing the scene, KLEIN suddenly crouched down. He's laughing like a maniac. He laughed crazily with suppressed voice. The clown mask looks so very happy. Dude, I have a tear in my eye. The clown mask looks so very happy. The corners of those raised lips, the bright red nose, and the white face wore a very happy expression. Ha ha ha. KLEIN laughed so much that he went out of breath. His laughter was more jarring than crying. After a few seconds, he finally calmed down. He slowly straightened his body and wrinkled his left eye at the darkest part of the sewer. Then he smirked and muttered to himself, Captain, shut up, bro. Look, we've saved the Loan once again. I'm gonna cry, dude. Droplets of liquid quickly slid down and laughed and landed on his collar. At that moment, he felt that his clown potion had been digested completely. Man, I'm crying, dude. That was so hype, but so sad. And oh man, we saved Loan, man. We saved Tingen. We saved Loan. Come on, man. This guy's ill counter 5. I said ill a couple times. Very important. This chapter is entirely drawn in comic. Check. Oh, bro, we gotta look at that. Oh, bet. You know what's crazy? So he was sad, right? But because he was laughing, and he was laughing like a madman, he completely digested the clown potion. That is crazy. He completely digested it because he was laughing like a maniac. Completely justified, by the way. But that was such a good chapter, bro. I said the whole comic and art, but let's look at it, dude. All right, I'm ready. Let's witness this bad boy together. Oh my god, wait. Ah, that is so badass. Yeah, that is so badass. That is so hype. Yeah. Okay. Wow, I need the highest quality. What's with the bitrate, bro? What's going on with the bitrate? Come on, where's like 8K? Look at that smile. Ooh, what's with this JoJo pose, bro? That's his mask? Yo! Yeah! Look at him running, dude! Look at his eyes! Oh, I got the biggest smile on my face, dude. Oh, my cheeks hurt. My cheeks hurt now. Yeah, look at the cards hitting him from this bag. Yeah! Oh, he's going... Oh, I thought he was, like, throwing up like Gambit. No, he's going like that. There can't be any further... Like, shut up. You know, he ain't escaping. Dude, look at the devil. When he threw the devil card. What is that? Oh, that's... Is that what it was supposed to be? Ah, that looks ugly. That's nasty. Yeah, look at them block that, dude. It was on TikTok? Ah, okay. This is sick, dude. Is this when he's on the ground? Oh, not yet. When he says his last words? That's crazy. During this whole fight, he didn't even speak to him. He was so locked in and focused on killing him that he didn't even give him like the time or like he didn't even speak to Crimson. Oh, that was like, yeah. The feint? Yeah, that was a feint, right? Oh, he fell asleep and woke up instantly, right? He was staggering and he got up right away when he went for his neck. Oh, that's so hype. This is such a cool fight. This is so badass, dude. I got the biggest smile on my face. Did they hit his eye? Wait, did that actually happen? I didn't even catch that. He was silent and locked in. Okay, wait. Call me crazy. This kind of reminds me of a Tokyo Ghoul fight. When I used to read the... Tokyo Ghoul was one of my first manhwas that I read physically. This kind of reminds me of some of the sewer fights in that series. When they're like locked in. Yeah, because you know how they wear masks and then they're fighting in the sewers? Look at that, dude. That is so sick. Look at the blood. Oh my god. That is so hype. Someone draw that to turn into it. That is crazy, dude. That is amazing. Look at that. Oh! The true creator. Remember when he like... When he showed it was all blood, right? I remember that. Bro, people are amazing, bro. Fan art is just crazy in this series. Fan art does not deserve to go this hard. I mean, it is. It is. I'm glad it is. That is wild. Was that the only picture? Oh, what was that? What did he title it? Lord of Mysteries, KLEIN versus LANEVUS. I'll be honest. Top 5. Top 3? Top three fights? Top 5? I still think the finale was the best. The harbor fight was like a second one for me. I think this is my 3rd favorite fight. Just because it feels more personal, dude. That was such a good fight. Dude, look at that. This is when he flabbergasted easy. God, we are, man. I am shook. I am stunned. So this was when he went up behind him, right? His knees gave out and he ended up behind him. Look at that smile, bro. That is so twisted. I think this is the first time KLEIN has ever been like this serious. I mean, he has been serious, don't get me wrong. But this is the first time where he did this out of revenge. Like, he knowingly chose to murder. I was about to say innocent. He's not innocent. He knowingly chose to murder a man in cold blood. I think that was a really good fight. Oh, this is when he cried. I'm gonna cry now. Oh, no, I'm fucking crying, dude. Oh, dude, look at that. Wait. I don't know if I should look at that one. Ah, wait, this is really cool. Okay, hold up. Yeah, dude, where's his head? Bro, look, he's like the Joker. Oh my god! Wait, is that Dunn Smith behind him? Shut up! I'm crying. I'm crying. Look at my eyes. I'm crying like a little bitch right now. Why? So, he's like, wait, so serious? He's like, wait, dude, is that supposed to be Dunn Smith behind him? Get out of here! Really? KLEIN just him? Oh my god! Well, you know what? I'll be honest, this was worth it. He completely digested his clown potion, and now we work our way to Faceless. Wait, Faceless? Oh my god, no, not Faceless. What? That suited clown does not intentionally kill. Oh man, look at this. Oh, and he's like fading away. Look. Oh my god, this fan art goes so hard, bro. Look, you don't even see Dunn Smith, but you know it's him. He has this trench coat. Yeah, like he's saying goodbye, right? I love this series. This series is amazing. Wait, hold up. This was so out of context, but he's definitely going Persona. Definitely a Persona 3 reference. I understood that reference. Okay, man, let's keep going, dude. Lord of Mysteries is amazing. There's 30 of you guys here. This series is amazing. I am so glad I have gone on this journey with you guys. Like, Lord of Mysteries does not deserve to go. It does. But Lord of Mysteries doesn't need to go this hard. I'm getting lightheaded. Don't get me wrong. It has its moments when it's like a little, not slow, but like there's a lot of world building, right? But like it needs it. It needs it for such a complicated series. But dude, it goes so hard when it wants to go hard. It goes so hard, it makes... We're not going to finish that sentence. We're going to leave it there. All right, let's keep reading, dude. Okay, what was this? TikTok was fall a kit underscore? What is this? Ah, it's another edit? Nice. Oh, the music. Oh, this is... Oh, it's animated. Yeah, it's animated. Oh, the music's a little loud. Oh, that is so cool, dude. I have the music so loud up here. Let me take it off so you guys don't hear it overlapping. Yeah, like he's coughing up blood. Ew, when he twists his neck. Oh, man. Captain, look, we've saved Lloyd once again. I'm sad. I'm sad. This is so good, dude. Okay, now we calm down. Now we calm down. Thank you, username. Oh, thank you, dude. I'll like that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Chapter 288. Okay, no. The fight's over. Now we calm down. Chapter 288 is called A Scene Filled with Symbolism. Okay. And the dark sewer, KLEIN wiped his neck and turned his attention back to LANEVUS's cracked head. Oh, we're gonna get his characteristic, right? And decapitated body before turning to the two tarot cards that were stuck in LANEVUS's eyes. He had originally wanted to retrieve all the projectiles that he had thrown and wipe the scene of any clues. However, he realized a very real and extremely serious problem. He didn't have the vision to see in complete darkness. So he's gonna leave evidence. So even if he wanted to, he couldn't retrieve shit because he can't see in the dark. Oh, you see, if he had... Wait, let me fix this chat. So if he had... Yeah, if he was... Okay, never mind. No, we're good. We're good. So he can't. He originally wanted to retrieve all the projectiles that he had thrown and wipe the scene of any clues. However, he realized a very real and extremely serious problem. He didn't have the vision to see in complete darkness. He had relied on his... Oh, I was like, so how did he see? He used his spirit vision to see him. He had relied on his spirit vision to rush through the pitch black sewers and engage in an intense battle with LANEVUS. He could see the colors of LANEVUS's aura, the spirituality and radiance of all sorts of critters, and he could faintly use the lights of illumination to distinguish the path. Unfortunately, the tarot cards he was currently using weren't the same as the ones he had originated from the Nighthawks. It didn't have any spirituality. No spirituality. I thought because he threw them, it would have had it, but just his throwing power, right? I skipped a line. He had relied on his spirit vision to rush through the pitch black sewers and engage in an intense battle with LANEVUS. He could see the colors of LANEVUS' aura. I read that. Unfortunately, the tarot cards he was currently using weren't the same ones that he had originated from the Nighthawks. It didn't have any spirituality or the silver engravings, and it was completely ordinary with no special character. Oh, I thought it was those cards. He used regular cards. It didn't have any spirituality or silver engravings, and it was completely ordinary with no special characteristics. In such an environment, KLEIN could use his own aura's colors and spirituality radiance to create a tiny radius around him where he could distinguish things. However, he could see the cards stuck on the walls and ground, as well as the cards that he had scattered everywhere. In the intense battle with LANEVUS, they hadn't restricted themselves to a particular spot. Of course, he believed that as long as he had enough time, it wouldn't be difficult to find all the cards he had thrown out, but the main problem was that the Nighthawks and the military on board the airship would arrive at any minute. I can't be too careless regarding this. I've been wearing gloves all this time. This deck of tarot cards was bought before coming to Backland, and it was standard across the nation. I don't usually use it most of the time, even if I have it with me. It's placed together with Mr. Zig's copper whistle. Regardless of what the methods are used, it would be very difficult to locate me through them. At most, they would be able to restore a portion of the battle scene. I don a mask and my shoes are padded. All sorts... he padded his shoes, so you couldn't even get his size. All sorts of thoughts flashed through KLEIN's mind, and he quickly came to a decision. He turned to the headless corpse and crouched down, reaching out with his black-gloved right hand. He quickly searched for any items left behind. Characteristic. KLEIN didn't have the intention of carrying out a mediumship ritual. Firstly, the feeling of the evil's god's descent that had left a deep impression on him, so he didn't dare to blindly channel LANEVUS's spirit unless he brought it above the gray fog with him. Oh, what? No? Unless he divined it above the gray fog with him. Secondly, with the situation of the Nighthawks and military arriving at any time, he didn't feel that he had enough time to set up the ritual of summoning himself, responding to himself, then going up above the gray fog and channeling the spirit. I should give up when it's necessary. KLEIN suddenly muttered to himself, and he drew his hand from LANEVUS's body. This crazy swindler seemed to be in a hurry when escaping. He didn't bring any cash materials or charms. He only had an eye-sized badge on him, which coruscated a faint spirituality radiance. KLEIN wasn't afraid that this item could be used to locate him, as he planned on throwing it above the gray fog for later to study it slowly. Therefore, he stood up and put the badge in his pocket. He stole a glance at LANEVUS's corpse, and without waiting for the beyond characteristics to appear, he used his left black glove hand to remove the remaining tarot cards. Then he stretched out with his left arm and placed his palm directly above LANEVUS's corpse. All of a sudden, KLEIN released his grip, allowing the tarot card to fall like leaves cascading over the headless corpse. Some of them faced up with pictures and numbers printed on them, whilst others had dark red patterns on their backs. After doing all this, KLEIN took out a Zig's copper whistle and tossed it a few times. Then, without looking back, he ran deep into the sewers. After almost 2 minutes, figures finally arrived at this place. Some of them were wearing thick black windbreakers, Nighthawks, while the others were wearing well-tailored military uniforms. The leader of the group was Crescent. I thought this guy was all that, man. This guy was taken down, man, by a swindler. Bam. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not talking. I'm not dissing him. I know they were caught off guard. And technically he was still strong. The leader of the group was Crescent Sesmir, who was carrying a pure white bone sword. His red gloves were smeared with dust, and his determined face showed obvious signs of fatigue and frailty. They stopped a few meters away from the body, and through the means of their night vision, they could see LANEVUS' corpse and his head against the walls. There were 2 tarot cards stuck in his head. One was the Emperor and the other was Wheel of Fortune. The headless body was covered with even more cards, each separately depicting the chariot, the hermit, death, and more cards of different suits comprising of chalice, scepters, and etc. It's so cool, dude. This man just left behind, like he's leaving behind his calling card. So now they're gonna give him a nickname like the Tarot Killer or whatever, right? On the walls, oh, it's gonna be cool, dude. Bro, he had the power of effing a god. Says Smear surviving says enough about. You know what? Okay, you're right, Romero. Okay, you're right. That's true. He is what? Sequence 4? 3? What? Or was it? No, wait, no, I lied. Sesmir was sequence 6, right? Sequence 6? Yeah, I think he was sequence 6. There were 2 tarot cards stuck on his head. One was the Emperor and the other was the Wheel of Fortune. That's crazy. On the walls and on the ground around him, there were also tarot cards such as the Devil, the Sun, and Judgment. It all looked like the scene of some bizarre ritual, and LANEVUS was the sacrificial offering that was destined to be sacrificed. Crescent Sesmir drew a silent gasp as he knitted his brows tightly. The Beyonders around him fell into momentary daze at the sight of his frightening and mysterious scene in darkness. Far away from the scene of LANEVUS' death, KLEIN quickly found an exit and he left. He took off his clown mask and in the shadows of the gas lamp walked quickly towards the East Borough. Before that, he had already dealt with the stains on the soles of his shoes. It was only when he reached Black Palm Street in the East Borough that he breathed a slight sigh of relief. Then he quickly held the ritual of summoning himself inside his rented 1-bedroom apartment and responded to himself. In his spiritual body state, KLEIN moved all of his clothes he had worn tonight, as well as the remaining charm herbs and essential oils, as well as the badge that he had obtained from LANEVUS to the space above the gray fog. Then he used a spiritual flame to burn the corresponding clues. Like his clothes and all his material stuff. Phew. He exhaled and finally had time to take a look at the badge that he had taken from LANEVUS look like. This badge was only the size of an eyeball. On the front was a symbol that depicted fate and concealment, and behind it was a ring of tiny, compact words in ancient Hermes. You can join if you have this item. Join what? What does it mean? Was LANEVUS also a member of some secret organization? Maybe the secret organization? KLEIN rubbed his temples in a situation where he was physically and mentally exhausted, along with the face that the timing wasn't right. He decided to give up on his research and leave it till after the Tarot Club's gathering. He quickly left the mysterious space above the gray fog, changing into another set of clothes and removing his disguise. However, he was in no hurry to return to Mink Street. He planned to sleep for the night before leaving. This was because it was easy to be inspected after midnight, especially when such an accident had just occurred. He lay down on bed, looked out the window in the moonlights, encroaching of the darkness, and gradually calmed down. After completing his initial revenge, he felt that he had relieved himself of a lot of his burdens and lost a lot of his pressure. His mental state was clearly much better than before. The present me is incapable of handling instant will and sealed artifact 008. Besides, the gap between us is huge. Only after becoming a high sequence beyonder, a demigod, would I have any qualifications to involve myself in such matters. Before advancing to sequence 4, I'll act as though they don't exist. Yeah, for the foreseeable future, my goal is to work hard to improve myself. Now that I've completely digested the clown potion, I can advance to magician. Sick, dude. Once the Beyonder ingredients are gathered, let's go, dude. There's still Faceless, Nimblewright Master, and the corresponding sequence 4, which I don't know the name of. Damn. So we got Clown. Check. Wait, Seer, check. Clown, check. Next is Magician. After Magician, Faceless, Nimblewright Master, and the corresponding sequence for 4, which we don't know of. Okay. Other than that, I'll just be an ordinary detective. KLEIN's mind was calm and peaceful, and his thoughts were scattered as though he No, what? And his thoughts were scattered as he thought about his future arrangements. He was no longer cranky or that depressed. As he thought about it, the corners of his lips curled up slightly as he slightly muttered to himself, Captain Benson, Melissa, I believe all of you would prefer to see me like this. Damn. I'm excited for when we see the old crew again, man. I mean, the ones that were left. At dawn, a group of people wearing surgical hats and white masks came to the dock union's dormitory. They were all dressed as doctors. The elder in the lead appeared to be rich and experienced as he said to the puzzled and confused residents, We've discovered an infectious disease in this building. A person named Kevin has already passed away because of it. We will provide free treatment. The infectious disease has a special drug, and as long as you take it in time, you'll be fine. Kevin! One by one, the guests exclaimed in astonishment as they looked around for the colleague named Kevin. However, they didn't find him at all. That was LANEVUS. Oh, LANEVUS. That was LANEVUS's alias. Seeing that the charity medical team was accompanied by police officers, the residents no longer had any doubts and began to line up nervously to collect their medicine. The first was a middle-aged man with a bushy beard. He nervously asked all sorts of questions, afraid that a single bottle of medicine wasn't potent enough to fight off the infectious disease. It wasn't until the doctor showed their impatience that he drank the blue bottle of medicine. Then he was helped to the side and aimed... What? Then he was helped to the side and aimed his mouth at a hole that was of the same size. The man suddenly felt nauseous and he violently vomited a putrid blob of bloody substance. He was about to prop himself up and cast his gaze to see what he had just vomited when two strong nurses yanked him away. The mouth-sized hole was located above an iron black metal barrel. The bottom of the barrel was dark and deep, with almost no light coming from it. And right there, a pool of yellowish-green liquid was quietly resting at the bottom. In the middle of the pool was a small piece of blood-colored meat. One by one, the residents took the medicine and vomited in front of different metal barrels. An Empress Barrow, the opulent Val, and Count Hall, why did you suddenly visit so early? Audrey looked at the sky outside, then shook at Viscount Glane. Glane looked around and only found a golden retriever sitting beside him. Hence he whispered, I was planning to go to the turf club, but I met Kance on the way. He told me something very interesting. It's truly interesting. Since I was passing by, I thought of coming to share it with you. What is it? Audrey asked with interest. Glane didn't deliberate over his words and replied, you should have heard of the Aurora Order, right? It was the Aurora Order that assassinated the Intis ambassador. They were caught with several important members killed, and a very large ploy was foiled as a result. I thought it was something related to the godhood of the true creator. Shio and Force sent someone to report the information yesterday evening. And it's just so happening that an operation was held last night. Wait, the Aurora Order apparently worships the true creator. Audrey's eyes lit up. She pressed it in a reserved tone. What ploy? I don't know. Kance refused to say. He just told me that the person in charge of this play was once a wanted swindler. A swindler named LANEVUS. Glane spread out his right hand. As expected, Audrey nodded indiscriminately. She didn't conceal her curiosity and asked, was he caught? He's dead, but he wasn't killed by our people. Glane paused for a moment. This was what I meant by interesting. They're gonna talk about the cards, right? When his body was found, it was covered with many tarot cards. She knows it was him. Same for the surroundings. You can imagine the scene. Tarot cards. The body was covered with tarot cards. Audrey was startled at the first before it hit her. That was done by our tarot card? It was Mr. Foolsador. Yo. This is hype, dude. Oh my goodness. So she knows it was him. Well, she thinks it's KLEIN's adorer, right? She probably thinks it's the world. Update chapter. Thank you. Wait, you're right, dude. This is technically the tarot card's first public declaration, where we leave tarot cards behind at the scene, right? Damn, I missed chapter 26 live read. Moto. That chapter was amazing, bro. 286, 287. Peak. Chef's kiss, bro. Oh, best 2 chapters of volume 2 so far. On God. Best chapters, bro. These have been this has 2 of the best chapters so far in volume 2 so far. Peak. Oh my God. Undoubtedly, bro. Peak chapters, bro. Let's keep going. Chapter 289, after I update this, because I already forgot, it's called Conjecture and Investigation. Okay. Audrey, who thought she knew the truth, couldn't help but imagine the scene described by Viscount Glane. LANEVUS lying in... Are we recording? Yes, we are. LANEVUS lying in the mud in the darkness, covered with rows and rows of tarot cards. There's the Fool, Justice, the Hangman, the Sun, the World, and other major arcana cards, and numerous numbered cards. They would either be overturned or facing right up, and there would be some left unturned, exposing on their backs as if they were all part of a large-scale airy tarot divination. This kind of scene must be very shocking. I wonder where the card for justice landed. She wants to know where her card landed. How would the Beyonders of MI9, MI6, right? MI6, MI9. How would the Beyonders of MI9 and the Church view this matter? Will they believe that a new secret organization has appeared? By possessing the godhood of the true creator, the ploy between LANEVUS and the Aura Order must definitely be significant. It definitely would have brought a terrible disaster to Backland and the kingdom. Yet this ploy was so easily foiled because of a simple mission Mr. Fool had issued. This is a tussle at the level of deities. That's such a funny quote. This is a tussle at the level of deities. Mr. Fool and the true creator are considered arch enemies. Low-key, yeah. It's no wonder he calls the other parties the fallen creator. Many thoughts flashed through Audra's mind as her body trembled faintly and imperceptibly. Let me reread this. Many thoughts flashed through. We're gonna say a good first try right here. First try. Many thoughts flashed through Audrey's mind as her body trembled faintly and imperceptibly. We didn't butcher that word. What are you thinking about? Viscount Glait, who was sitting opposite, finally couldn't hold it any further as he asked in puzzlement. Audrey abruptly snapped out of her reverie, slightly cooking her head. She smiled and said, "Didn't you tell me to imagine the scene of the corpse being covered with tarot cards?" Huh. Glait awkwardly smiled and sighed. "I wonder which secret organization members killed LANEVUS. It really matches how I imagine such a thing to be like. It's so cool." He's like, "That's so badass, dude." "It's our tarot cub." Audrey answered silently as she smiled. "Perhaps there's no organization but the independent act of a powerful Beyonder. Regardless, I like the style. Urge Shio and Force and ask them when they can find my apocryphy formula." Glenn said in excitement. Audrey widened her eyes slightly, looking around. She lowered her voice and said, "Hush, keep it down. How can you talk about potions here?" He's like, "Shut up, dude. Shut up, Glenn." Oh, he's so dead. He's gonna talk out loud one day, and like a high sequence Bounder's gonna take him out, man. But doing, I don't even know what. Just name, no spoiler. Oh yeah, okay. You should join Discord. Yeah, you should join. You should join Discord. I don't join. I'm not on that section of the Discord where you guys talk about sports. But yeah, man, go crazy. How can you talk about potions here? Glenn gave an indifferent smile. "Don't worry, it's nothing. I had already confirmed that other than you and me, there's only a dog. The huge golden retriever." Oh, so it is a big dog. I always assumed Susie was a small dog. The huge golden retriever Susie unconsciously shifted her position. North Borum buckled inside a room beneath the St. Samuel Cathedral. Dally? Madam Dally? Oh, we're back. Dally, who was wearing a black hooded robe and makeup with blue eyeshadow and red blush, gave off a charming yet cold feeling. She randomly found a seat and picked up the document on the table. This is our first time seeing Madam Dally in so long. What? She swept through it before her gaze suddenly froze. Her brows immediately frowned, and she spurred something and asked, "LANEVUS, why wasn't I informed of this matter? Why didn't you inform me about the operation last night?" Oh man, she wanted to avenge Dunn, dude. Sitting at the scene of honor, Crescent Sesmir, who had hidden his chin and lips back into his propped up collar, said deeply, "I was afraid that you wouldn't be able to control your emotions. That would have brought unnecessary danger to the operation, so I didn't get anyone to inform you. I can understand how you feel. A Nighthawk from Tiggan's squad is currently undergoing guidance and training at the Holy Cathedral. He plans on joining the..." Oh, Leonard, right? A Nighthawk from Tiggan's squad is currently undergoing guidance and training. They literally just name drop Leonard without name dropping him. "He plans on joining the Red Gloves, and his performance is about equal to yours. But as the person in charge of the operation, and as a high sequence ranking Decon of the Nighthawks, I had to eliminate all unstable elements." Dally looked at the other Nighthawk squad captains and Decons as she sneered. "Why do you think I won't be able to control my own emotions? I'm very calm and I won't act rashly. My anger will only erupt after LANEVUS is caught. And this is the professional bearing of a veteran Nighthawk and Decon. If I had caught LANEVUS, I would let him know that the men can be weak too. I would make sure that a cold, rotten, yet stiff corpse would be situated behind his buttocks. I would make sure that a pungent white bone filled with thorns would be suited in front of him. I'd make it so that those cold little fellows enter and leave his body wherever they can." She's cold and twisted. "Damn it, you actually managed to let him die just like that." Crescent Sismir looked at Dally calmly inside after silently listening to her until she was done. "How long have you been putting up with it?" Dally froze and muttered in frustration like a deflated balloon. "For a very long time." Sesmir retracted his gaze and cast him towards the other decons and captains. Got anything? From our preliminary investigations, the person who killed LANEVUS is a member of the Secret Order. They're so wrong. A sequence... They knew it... What the... They knew he was a clown? A sequence 8 of the potion named clown. He's adept at using paper cards and flying knives. A decon reported based on the findings. However, we are unable to confirm this guess. The tarot cards scattered across the corpse don't seem like they were concealing something. After all, the Beyonder didn't deal with the tarot cards on the wall and in LANEVUS' head. We all believe that the final scene was more of a ritual or a symbolism. Therefore, they're so wrong. You guys are so dumb. If only you knew KLEIN came back from the dead, dude. We all believe that the final scene was more of a ritual or symbolism. Nah, bro. He was just being cold-hearted. Therefore, we suspect that the Beyonder might belong to an organization we don't understand. Of course, the scene might also just be a personal preference of his. Yeah, it was. Sesmir nodded slightly and said, we can start from this point and proceed with a follow-up investigation. Arur? I forgot. I can't pronounce his name. Arur. I forgot his first name. Any updates on the person who tipped us off? Oh, Harson. There you go. Look at him. It's Harson. He's back. Oh, look at that, man. It's the old crew. It's Harson. Oh, I miss these guys, man. The charming middle-aged man, Arur Harson, flipped the papers in his hat and said, we investigated the person and discovered that his actions were directed by a bounty hunter. In the process of looking for the wanted criminal, LANEVUS, the Balam's companion who was killed by a member of the Aurora Order, in order to extract revenge, he secretly carried out an investigation and eventually locked onto the target of the Workers' Alliance Tavern in East Balm Dock. Based on the target's actions and lifestyle, she discovered LANEVUS. Are they talking about Forge or Shio? Audrey? No. Her actions have basically been verified and witnessed. There isn't anything strange about it. We also use Beyonder means to confirm that she's no connection to the person who killed LANEVUS. Oh, it's Forge or Shio. She's in hiding now, and it's very hard to find her. Sesmir added while seemingly in thought, this fits very well with LANEVUS' description that the radical and insane members of the Aurora Order were helping him out. Is there any problem with the reporter who did this interview at the Union that afternoon? Another captain of the Nighthawks reported he was a fake reporter. Another captain. If only you guys knew who it was, dude. It's the same person, dude. They're so close, but so far away, dude. It was Shio, right? Got it. So it's Shio. Okay. Oh, so Shio is the one that's in hiding. Oh, that's what KLEIN said. Tell her to give it to me when you find her. Got it. Another captain of the Nighthawks reported he was a fake reporter, and according to the news from the police department, no way they're gonna find. No way. He's actually a private detective who had previously helped Mike Joseph of the Daily Observer. Joseph was investigating the murder of Cyber. We suspected that he got some kind of lead. I found the Dock Union and disguised himself to get in touch with everyone who was suspected of being the killer. This guess has already been confirmed by Isengard Staden. Oh, the other PI, right? Says Amir acknowledged it before switching to ask the other people who had recently come in contact with LANEVUS, but similarly got it's so crazy how all these characters technically have connections with other characters, but they're not. It's like KLEIN knows individuals that are in contact with like Audrey or Madame Dally, but like they're not in contact. I find that really cool how like all these characters have all these connections with other people they know, like with other acquaintances. I find that really cool. Towards the end, he said, after some deliberation, I'm very confused by the lack of motive for the murder of LANEVUS. I clearly skipped a line. This guess has already been confirmed by Isengard. Sesmir acknowledged it before switching to ask other people who had recently come in contact with LANEVUS, but similarly got answers that was nothing wrong with them. I see your messages. I got you guys. We'll read them right now at the end of this chapter. At the end of this chapter. Towards the end, he said after some deliberation, I'm very confused by the lack of motive for the murder of LANEVUS. The mysterious murderer deserves our attention. You should continue to follow up on this matter. In addition, according to the common sense, the Aurora Order definitely wouldn't only have Beyonders at the Rose Bishop and Shadow ascetic level in a big city like Backland. There should at least be an oracle or perhaps even a saint. Their ploy of receiving the true creator's descent has failed. With their crazy and irrational traits, I'm worried that they'll launch a series of retaliatory attacks. All of you are to be on high alert in the near future. I'll also be staying in Backland. Yes, your grace. The decons and captains replied solemnly. Crescent Sesmir paused for a few seconds before adding, the events of Magus incident in Tengen and last night's incident with LANEVUS have revealed a problem. The industrial area of the dock area and the East Borough have become hotbeds for the descent and nurturing of evil gods. You are to send people to investigate and gather the truth about the situation, so maybe the true creator won't descend, right? right? If they like bring order. If it truly is, as LANEVUS had described, I'll raise this matter to the Council of the Cardinals, formally exerting pressure on the kingdom and government to bring about the corresponding change as soon as possible. KLEIN slept in and didn't wake up until it was late. However, it still wasn't bright enough outside. The area was still shrouded in fog, making it dark and cold. This doesn't fit with my splendid mood, he grumbled. After changing his clothes and taking his keys, he returned to Minx Street unnoticed. After changing from his worker's uniform to casual home attire, a shirt and sweater, and after confirming that I am butchering my words today. And after confirming that no one came investigating his identity as a private detective, he was completely at ease. He leisurely went out the butcher and grocery store to buy food in preparation for a sumptuous lunch for himself. There were some afternoon sun in Backland, and KLEIN lazily basked in its warmth. I do that with Ellie, man. Whenever there's sunlight, we just chill in sunlight. We'll take a nap, dude. And KLEIN lazily basked in its warmth, momentarily having no desire to do anything. He waited until 15 minutes to 3. Then he took out his golden pocket watch for a glance before returning to the bedroom and going above the gray fog. After conjuring the fake world and familiarizing himself with its controls, he sat down on the high back chair at the end of the table and gave a message to the sun that he was prepared. His sword, or his axe, right? And gave a message to the sun that he was to prepare for his participation in the gathering. Oh, shut up! We're gonna end stream before a gathering. At precisely 3, according to Backland Times, streaks of crimson light soared out of the vast and ancient palace, outlining the blurry figures, which were equally indistinct. Audrey directly looked towards the seat of honor and said cheerfully, "Good afternoon, Mr. Fool. The simple mission you entrusted has been completed." She had deliberately emphasized the word simple in order to ascertain from Mr. Fool whether LANEVUS had really been eliminated by his adorer. She wanted to know if the tarot card covered death scene was a symbol of the Tarot Club. KLEIN deliberately acted composed, and he said with a smile, "I'm already aware." That's so badass. Well, he just lampooned right there. After saying that, he sighed. In such an age, in such a place like Backland, in such a place in Eastborough, the dock area, and the factory district, they're in hotbeds for an evil god's descent. What? Olger was stunned for a moment, wondering if there was something wrong with his ears. Wait, what? Olger, what? What? Olger was stunned for a moment, wondering if there was something wrong with his ears. Why would a simple mission involving hotbeds for an evil god descent? Wait, what? I think... By what I just read, it looks like Olger is glazing up KLEIN, right? Is that what happened? Mr. Fool, weekly glazing time? What? Olger was stunned for a moment, wondering if there was something wrong with his ears. Why would a simple mission involving hot beds for an evil god's descent? Dude, that's crazy, dude. That's wild. Wait. Olger surprised? He's stunned, right? He's shook? He's a little shook? Wait, hold up. Shall we continue? Or, like, should we read one more chapter, or should we stop here and then read the gathering in its entirety? He is the biggest glazer. Olger is always glazing. He's like, wow. The Fool is so amazing. It's like, he's so beautiful and he's so strong. This specific gathering is legendary. Okay, so if this is a legendary gathering, should we stop here and wait for next time and read it all? Right? How a simple mission can develop into a whole god level thing. Yeah, that's true. No, read all the chapters. Hold up. Let me do my outro before we talk about all that. If you guys like what you see, and when you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you to our new member for doing 2 months. Thank you. And I will see you guys all next week. If you'd like to join our membership, it is $1, and you can spam our beautiful Ellie emotes. I feel like a swindler every time I say that. Adieu, adieu. I feel like LANEVUS every time I say that. I got a full stop, bro. Adieu. And I will see you guys all for tomorrow's live stream. Or by the time this stream is up, because my internet is kind of bad, today. So we'll leave it right there. Thank you. But the stream's still going to go. Wait. The stream is still going to go for a little bit. All right, guys. Peace. Have a beautiful day.